foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Shahakadash. Double honors to the apostle, of the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. The brother is already with the Pittsburgh TMS camp. Coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Shahakadash. I hope when this lesson is edifying. Down. All right. And I was sitting there listening to Elder Yashawama's lesson concerning what was it? Oh yeah, the serpent in the garden, right? And a thought came to my mind, because he was speaking about witchcraft and things of that nature, and how Jake typically witchcraft. All right, and down, right, and I thought about something, and it was kind of one of those moments where you think about something, and it just makes you kind of just put your head down, just like shake your head, just like, this is ridiculous, And I was thinking about how one body in Yahweh Shai, they're always trying to. They have this. They have this idea, this belief, this doctrine that the miracles of Yahweh Shai were um, parabolic, that they didn't actually happen, that they're all parables, and that you can explain them all away with some type of physical explanation. And it's a shaking my head moment, all right, because I thought the one I thought about was walk on water. I'm like, you begin to make yourself sound foolish when you try to sit there and the sad thing is I can see how Yahweh Hashem Yahushua would use this as a stumbling block to get very many people, because the whole scriptures is about parables. The majority of the scriptures have parables in them. Now the scriptures say what? Um, I would not have you ignorant, lest you be basically, you don't want to be taken, or you don't want to get tripped up off of the simplicity that is in Yahweh Shai. Okay, it says the simplicity that's in Christ, which is, so the simplicity that's in Hamashiach. So there are things that are simple. Sorry, the camera's all, so like I'm holding it because I'm in this laundry room with the dog or whatever. But anyway, the simplicity that's in Yahweh Shai, right? So there are some things that are very basic to understand, but then there are things that are deep parables. There are deep sayings, dark sayings, as the scripture says. There are dark sayings. All right, and it also says them that are learned in dark sayings shall pour out exquisite parables themselves. Okay, which that's just how sometimes brothers will come up with different ways to explain biblical situations through the spirit, where you might say it a different way. You know what I'm saying? But it still means the same thing. Okay, but anyway, we might modernize a parable to give you a different understanding. Okay, but anyway, um, and it's just a shame that people are taking. The scriptures tell you, if any man add or remove from this book, he will remove his name out of the book of life. Okay, so you won't be written as a part of the elect. But also the scriptures say, "He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water." See how the end of that says the living water. You see how people can take that and try to twist that into something else. Well, Paul warned us about that. Well, actually, Peter warned us about Paul's sayings and how people would take. Okay, it says what? It said Peter spoke. Salakia. Paul spoke of things hard to be understood, which they, what's the word? I can't, Salakia, I don't know how to quote it because I don't got my other phone. Which unstable souls rest, meaning wrestle, as they do the other scriptures to their own demise. So you got people wrestling not only with what Paul said, but with the rest of the Bible. Okay? And Tawadi Yabashim Yashai for bringing that to mind, because I did a lesson on, Sakari and, Alazar and what he was saying about High Priest Ariah. And, and I was thinking about how in a lot of scriptures they are on point, but then there's certain things where they wrestle with it. Like marriageable age, grape, things like these that they wrestle with. Well, not only because I had said, which I'm not gonna post it for different reasons, but I had said in that lesson, um, oh, well, you wouldn't, I was quoting Paul, and I was like, well, they wouldn't respect that. They wouldn't know that, as far as how Paul said, nevertheless, Hamashiach is preached, basically giving credit for doing the basic work to these other people who were preaching, whether it be for contention or whatever sake they was preaching for. He still gave them credit that they was preaching Yahweh Shai. Okay, but you don't have these guys giving credit to Great Millstone. He'll call out Farrakhan and say he's the leader of all black people. He'll call out, you know, whoever else, but he won't acknowledge his teachers. Okay, and not only beyond that, he's cursing out one of the teachers of his teachers, High Priest Ariah. So nevertheless, he wrestles with the scriptures when it comes to certain things. Okay, but Peter said that people would do that. They would wrestle with Paul's words and they would wrestle with other things. And you got to sit there and really play. You got to sit there and put it in a figure four leg lock. You got to put that's a hell of a Rey Mysterio chokehold right there, man. To try to say that the miracles didn't happen, that Yahweh Shai didn't turn water into wine. You see, how would you explain that away? Because water and wine both mean the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. They're both, if you want to be parabolic and say he turned water into wine, so he turned the word into the word, now you got to say, well, he turned where the water represents the basic word, and then all the milk represents the basic word. You see how you begin to go down this rabbit hole of nonsense, okay? When you want to discredit the fact that Yahweh Shai did his miracles, what role did his mom have to play? You see? It gives you a false distortion of all the rest of the scriptures when you try to explain away that Yahweh Shai actually did miracles. King David said he bent the bowl of steel with his hands. Okay? He said he made my feet like hinds feet, and that I've leapt over a wall. What is that? Is that parabolic, or is that, you know what I mean? Come on, man. You begin to. What about the dumbass that spoke? Okay, whenever who was it? I think it was. I don't want to say Nabal. It wasn't Nabal, but the horse that was had the rider. Okay, Balak, Balaam, whoever it was. Salaki, it slips me who it was. But the horse, was riding, and he saw the angel, and the man was kicking it like, let's go, let's go. And the horse was like, nigga, we gonna die if we go right there. And the Lord opened the horse's mouth. So what was that? Was that witchcraft too? Or do you have some way of explaining away that miracle? You see, it's foolishness. The more you get deep into it and begin to dissect, what these people say, man. Okay, so I just had to jump on that through the spirit, man. I'm sitting here, like I said, with the dog, and any minute this is probably gonna cut off because I got a timer set. So I'm gonna end it here before it messes up. I'm gonna give all I'm going to pray to you out by Shemel Shai, by Shemel Hakadosh. Lord, willing you were edified. Don't want to see the apostle of the great millstone. Peace, blessings, activity, and hopefully let that and say Shalom about the ball. Shalom.